Hey, what is up guys? GuitarRock here, welcome back to another Nikke Goddess of Victory video. Now if you guys are still deciding if you want to pull Sakura, Bloom in Summer, or Rosanna, Chick Ocean, hopefully you guys will find it out in this particular video. We're gonna be able to show you guys in the later solo raid to get a grasp or an idea. This is not going to be a solo raid guy. I believe it should be finishing soon as of the time of me recording this video. But hopefully just to give you guys an idea on who I think is better to pull overall and in the context of how strong these two characters basically are in comparison to other characters, right? Now both Sakura and Rosanna, they fit perfectly well in a team. Now burst 2, burst 3, they are not going to interfere with each other. So if you're pulling for both of them, they work very well together. Both are the same element, win elemental damage as well. Now the truth is, if you are trying to get only one, I do think that getting Sakura is going to be better because she is going to be a damage dealer. Sakura can still work somewhat without Rosanna, and she's probably the second best win damage dealer right now, beaten by only Scarlet Black Shadow for the time being, right? Now that character is just a different beast altogether. Now the truth is, Sakura is going to be a very strong contender, even though her skills are a little bit complex. And it might seem like she relies a little bit on destroying the enemy's part, but in most cases, you can actually use her in a normal situation and she's going to work just fine. Now when it comes to Rosanna, she's much more of a support character. Now she basically boosts damage to parts, and this is going to be a little bit dependent on the enemies that you're fighting against, alright? Whether or not it's going to be a boss or just like minions that you have around, right? So this makes Rosanna slightly niche in terms of that, because not every bosses have parts laying around. And even if some bosses do have parts, like once their parts are destroyed, Rosanna's effectiveness just goes down unless the boss have the ability to basically respawn their parts as well. Now as you can see, Rosanna's burst skill makes a lot more sense. Increased damage taken and also increased sustain damage. So this is going to make her a decent burst 2 overall. Now there's also one big problem with Rosanna. If you are using her overall, or let's say if you're pulling for her and trying to make a team with her, it will be much harder for you to try to slot in because a lot of healers are in burst 2. So if you're using Rosanna, now you have to rely on a couple of other characters to basically balance things out. For example, in this team, you can see I used Helm right here. Now Helm is going to be one of the few burst 3 healer. Her ability right here will be able to recover allies HP in terms of attack damage. So this is going to give her the ability. I feel like, yeah, the reliance of Helm is going to be one thing that might hinder some players to basically try to go for this. Now you can also rely on burst 1 to try to get the heals up. But the truth is, most players would want something like a CDR in your team comp. Alright, so in this case, you can see I have Dorothy. Now, if I don't have Dorothy, I don't really have the CDR. As always, CDR is going to be very useful, alright, because it reduces the cooldown of burst skill. That means you are able to burst more often. You ideally want that in every single team. And right now, burst 1 probably has the most CDR characters. We got Lita, we got Dorothy, we got D Killer Wife, and we also have Volume, right? So those are going to be something that you'll see almost in every single team. Now this is one of my scuffed runs. As you can see, I was testing multiple different attempts. So Dorothy and Privati works very well together because of the last bullet mechanic, and then I pair them with, of course, Sakura and Rosanna right here. So this is a pretty decent team overall. The idea here is to destroy the parts fast because Dorothy can help you with that. You know, Rosanna, Sakura, obviously to boost the damage. You know, Rosanna is going to boost the damage increase to parts overall, and of course, you know, Sakura is there for that as well, and Helm to heal. Right here you can see a little bit of struggle overall. Privati is very squishy. I feel like the reason why is because I never put much overload gears on her, and if you max out the gears, definitely, especially the, I believe the body and the boot pieces are going to give you plenty of HP. You should be able to tank more hits. But Helm's damage, or rather Helm's healing, is going to be reliant on her in the first 10 seconds when she casts the burst for you to be able to constantly aim the boss, right? But sometimes when you're aiming at the parts, because the parts are very annoying, the tentacles are literally what you're trying to destroy, and those things move around. They don't just stay still, and sometimes you miss some shots, and if you miss shots, that means you're not going to heal as effectively. So it is going to be a little bit of an RNG right there, and obviously several runs after, you know, you're gonna be able to get it eventually.
Victory! With me on your team, did you expect anything else?
Now, as you guys can see, my Privati died pretty early in this particular gameplay footage or whatever that I was recording. I could try again, of course, right, on a later date, but here's the truth. Sakura's damage is really high, and obviously right now in this particular team, this is like a team that's perfectly set up for her. Alright, so we have Dorothy that I basically put up to basically deal bonus damage to parts. We also have Privity, which combo very well with Dorothy, and then Rosanna is just going to be hyper buffing Sakura. The only downside here probably is going to be Helm, right? Because like you're gonna be lacking in the damage because you're only pretty much using one burst free character if you think about it, right? Because Helm is not going to, her damage is not going to be substantial. She's just more of a healer. You can even see, right, she is doing way less damage than Rosanna, which is a burst 2, and Dorothy as well, right? So there's that as well. So I do think that swimsuit Sakura, or Summer Sakura rather, as you can see, if you're talking about her damage capabilities in a team, obviously it's going to be much more complex. This boss happened to have plenty of parts, and it does make Summer Sakura shine in a way that maybe she shouldn't, but I still think that this is a very impressive damage. If we were to compare this with the Scarlet Black Shadow's damage earlier, which I think is fair because again, they are both wind elemental character, a wind elemental damage dealer, and right now, if you're looking for a wind damage dealer, Scarlet Black Shadow is still going to be number 1, no doubt. Alright, so she is still going to be stronger, but I think Summer Sakura is going to come close to 2nd place right now, if you're looking for specifically right here. And I am very happy with her damage performance. And let me show you guys as well my build. So as you can see, I have full overload gears, right? I don't really have her at 10. I do have her at 8. I don't really have enough of the materials, and I am using the resilience cube, the reload speed cube for now, right? So that's going to be something that I'm going with. As you can see, these are my stats. I do have a couple of elemental damage bonuses. This one is like, could be improved, right? I'm not gonna like toggle that now, but you can see some of these could definitely try to get better ones, but I do get at least 3 elemental damage bonus on my swimsuit Sakura right here, or Summer Sakura, right? Now if you have limited resources, you want to prioritize on the burst skill, alright, this one, and also the skill 2. Skill 1 has lesser priority because this one only increased the sustain damage, and cool and all, but this one is going to be much more skill 2, and the burst skill is going to be much more consistent. Now the cubes for her honestly doesn't matter. I tried Bastion cube and I tried Resilience cube, and I don't see much damage difference. Just go with whatever. I don't think it's going to affect that much. Now for Rosanna on the other hand, she's going to be a little bit easier to build because you only want to focus on the burst skill, which is this one, right? This one is going to give you the most return. Alright, you basically increase sustain damage, but the damage taken, this one by far is going to be the most worth one. Alright, so this one, if you can, obviously go for this. You know what, I'm just going to do that right now since I have the materials. Skill 1 and skill 2 has lesser priority. You can do like 4, 4, 10 if you want to, right? And for her, cubes doesn't matter as much. She's going to be a support character, so just go with whatever. If you want to go with like Bastion or Resilience, both works fine. Currently I'm using Resilience as well for now because this is one of my higher level cubes for the timing. Now let's show you guys a little bit of damage comparison with my Red Hood as well, because I know some of you guys might be curious in comparison to Red Hood, right?
Did you see that? I'm strong.
Now Red Hood is going to do a little bit less damage on the boss because of the element, but still, you know, the fact that Sakura is going to do like almost 3 times more is pretty impressive, I would say, right? Like just in general, this is still pretty impressive regardless. So yeah, overall, I do think that Summer Sakura is a very formidable DPS character. Now you gotta ask yourself, do you want a DPS character or do you want a swimsuit Rosanna? I feel like for most players, you know, just get Sakura. Now if you can get both, that will be ideal. But if you get Rosanna without Sakura, I don't know, man. These two are limited characters, by the way. So if you don't get Sakura, you are not going to be able to get the full effect of Rosanna until next year, which is when the banner will rerun. So keep in mind that once the banner goes away, it goes away. So there's that factor to be taken into consideration. Now if you guys want to, you can wait for Swimsuit Anise or Summer Anise, but she's not that useful in the current solo raids, unfortunately. So yeah, with that being said, that's gonna be it for this particular video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe if you guys haven't already. Give this video a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a nice day. Goodbye.